The Range Rover Evoque, the most successful Range Rover there's ever been. Since the baby Range Rover was first mentioned in March 2009, customers headed to the showrooms with their checkbooks in hand. But it wasn't until September 2011 that the first Evoques were delivered. But like all Range Rovers and Land Rovers, the technology and development never changes. Inherently, it looks remarkably like what went before. The difference is there's a new super economical green fuel efficient engine. It's now mated to a 9-speed ZF gearbox which changes seamlessly. The 4-wheel drive system, once again fully automated, although there are programs that you can dial in to give the vehicle prior warning of what it's going to be doing, the land it's going to come across. Other interesting things such as the 4-wheel drive system cuts out at anything above 22 miles per hour, basically to ensure fuel economy. If you need 4-wheel drive, you can then redial it in, tell the vehicle it must be in 4-wheel drive. Otherwise, anything above 22, it will do it all itself. And the beauty of it is, like its sibling the Freelander, it's very, very good at doing it before the driver's even thought about it. Granted, beneath the skin, it is a Freelander with a rather attractive, small, in this instance, 4-door saloon body, or there's the 2-door coupe version. Beneath the bonnet, this one is the SD4 turbo diesel, 16 valve, very, very efficient, very, very lively. Nice big wheels. Everything about the car is chunky. The beauty of the Evoque is, unlike many 4-wheel drives, it isn't an offensive 4-wheel drive. People don't look at it and think that's one of those big gas-guzzling vehicles. The other thing is, because of its size, it performs as well in cities as it does in towns, as it does out in the countryside, as it does off-road. And to be quite honest, it's easy to understand why it has its appeal to women. Women love it. The more you study the Evoque, the more you realise there's some interesting little pieces on it, little touches that the designers have given thought to. The rear arch is excellent, ever so slightly. Stops all the mud and everything else spraying up all over the side. Keeps the spraying going down, good for the vehicle and good for other road users. Around the back, don't be fooled. That's plastic, that is not a proper skid plate. The one that did the Dakar, yes, it was metal. But work on the theory that very few people who own Evoques will actually take them off-road. Nice power tailgate. Not bad luggage space, but once again, anybody who buys the Evoque isn't buying it as a load lugger. But no spare wheel, but you do have a little security area underneath the floor. But drop the back seats and you can get enough in for a couple to go away on a good long weekend. Hit them up, down it comes. It's all very pleasant inside here, nice clear instrumentation. Big colour screen monitor for the sat-nav, hi-fi, reversing camera systems. As per its sister vehicle, the Freelander, the off-road modes are here, your standard, ruts, sand and undulating countryside, plus we've got the usual hill descent controls, traction control, eco modes and everything else. There's just certain things that make you think that the design has gone a little over the top. For example, the heated seats. Great. You don't press those. You press that, then you have to go onto the monitor. Then you have to work out off the monitor. Please, Range Rover, just on-off. That's all we need. Equally, the gear selectors. All very nice, but until you start the vehicle up and wait, then it comes up. It's just one of those things that's happened just a little bit over the top. If you want normal settings, you can drop into sport mode. In sport mode you can go onto the paddles. And you've got a big panoramic glass roof if you want it. The roof doesn't tilt or slide or anything, it just allows more light to come into the vehicle. Apart from that, the Evoque is beautifully trimmed. You cannot deny that Range Rover have done an absolutely stunning job of trimming the vehicle. It's the best quality materials, the stitching is fantastic, everything contrasts nicely. Range Rover now claim that they make the four-wheel drive Bentley, and after you've driven the Evoque for a period of time, you realise they ain't far off achieving that. But it's not so much what they like to sit in and look at, it's what they like to drive that really counts. Inside the Evoque you definitely get the full Range Rover experience. Nice, cosseted, everything nicely made, nice view, apart from the rear view. Problem is the converging roofline and the waistlines have conspired between them to produce something of a letterbox view out the rear window. The other thing is, I'm 6 foot tall and it's about headroom. Can I have some, please? The seat will lower a little bit more, but that will put me in a driving position I didn't like. Apart from that, very car-like to drive, which is another one of the Evoque's great appeals. You don't feel like you're in a 4x4, you feel like you're in a very well-appointed, mid-sized car that has quite a healthy degree of ability should you need to take it off-road. Right. Plenty of power, over 200 brake horsepower in this instance. The Evoque sends on to a degree you need to actually keep an eye on the speedo, otherwise you'll probably be well over the limit. Pushing it through corners, the car has a definite tendency to exhibit just a little bit of oversteer, which from my point of view is an ideal situation. It's easier to dial off a bit of steering than at times it is to dial on. It sends on very well, you can easily position it. Downside, 9-speed box. You can go onto the flappy paddles, which actually don't feel that substantial. Go into flappy paddle, great. Off down the road. You try keep going up and down 9 gears on a demanding stretch of road. Just doesn't work. Just leave the thing in drive. The other slight thing is with drive, if you've gone between drive and reverse, there's a noticeable lag before the system realises you switched from one to the other. So don't drop it into reverse or drive and expect it to immediately pick up from where it was. The other thing is with them, like a lot of people who drive automatics, you tend at times to have your hand on the shift to move it to and fro. Perchance you need to do anything, say in the countryside or in the city centre or anything like that. Downside to this is, with normal vehicles you might drive along with your hand on the shift. In the Range Rover Evoque you've got to drive along with your hand on your knob. Apart from that, it's just a nice thing to drive around in. Nice and compact, isn't overly demanding of its driver, nice and comfortable. Long distance motor, no problem. Land Rover market it as an urban off-roader. That's what you're into, great. I would say, as a general vehicle, general luxury vehicle for driving around in, very nice. Not too bad on fuel, you'll get high 20s, does everything you might want it to do. Very, very stylish, without doubt. And the vehicle that has saved Land Rover Range Rover. Apart from that, there's not a lot you can really say about them. It's just a nice vehicle to drive around in. So from Motoring Northwest, here at Browsholme, along with the latest Range Rover Evoque SD4, see you next time and safe driving.